Evening, guys.
What are you waving for? Have I done something wrong?
Butters.
Oh, you. I thought I was doing something wrong and you were trying to get my attention. Oh, we'll leave it in. I don't care. Good evening, good afternoon, good day. Welcome to Forge from Iron and our preview of the FA Cup tie versus Manchester United at Old Trafford on Wednesday the 1st, kickoff 7:45. I am joined by the rather attractive Mr. Miles. And Steve, I can't really say much about you on that one because we never see you.
No,
So
well,
you
it's
have a
as I've often
voice,
said, as I've often
voice of an
said, mate, I've
angel,
got a face for radio.
voice of an angel, and a face for radio. Fair enough, guys. If you haven't, or I'm going to jump in now and do it quickly. If you haven't done so already, please like this stream, comment, subscribe, and do all the rest of that malarkey.
And tickle the bell.
Tickle the bell, rub the bell, do something with the bell. I mean,
It'll be in the morning when it comes out, so that's
yeah, no, it's
not a
all
big
right.
deal.
So you do
Yeah.
that in the morning anyway. Right, enough. Behave. We're not doing that. Oh, God, you rude people. Everyone in the chat's like, oh, God. Boys, we are here, obviously, like I say, to talk about the Man U game, FA Cup. Andy, how do you feel after the good result of the weekend? How do you feel for this one?
I feel confident. I really do, because Man United are running on all fronts now, and if someone told me 2 months ago that they'll be running in for the title, which I think they've still got an outside chance, if I'm being honest, the way they're playing, I don't think now they've got one trophy under the belt. I don't think FA Cup's on their priority list. Obviously, winning Europa as well would be another trophy. So I can see Man United making changes, and I can see us, and it's just a matter of when, really, of can we get the result. Our record's not been great, but I'll talk about that in a second, and we'll get Steve's thoughts, I'm guessing.
Steve, tell me. Obviously, Andy's a little bit. He's a little bit excited. Bless him. He thinks we can do it
I
tomorrow.
love the
Steve,
FA Cup. I love the FA Cup.
I love the
Yeah.
FA Cup. Oh, Steve, your thoughts on how you're feeling for tomorrow?
I'm really conflicted on it because for me, I'm I'm far more concerned about our Premier League status. But that doesn't mean to say I don't want to do well in the FA Cup. But if I had to choose one over the other, and there was a debate about this on one of the chats I'm on, uh, FA Cup over Premier League, which got to be Premier League every time for me. But having said that, we've got a decent squad. We've got players coming back. United have played on Sundays, so we'll have had a day's more rest. And let's face it, that was a highly charged, emotional game for United. They've picked up the first trophy of the season. I think we can do it. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose. I wouldn't be surprised if we win. I'm right on the fence about this one. But I just want to go up there and put out a good showing. And if we can get through and we can win the next round, we've got a game at Wembley, and that'd be terrific, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm kind of in both camps, to be honest with you, boys. Andy, I see where you're coming from, and I am. I love the FA Cup. I love the romance. I love everything to do with it. But Steve, I'm also understanding where you're coming from. The status and staying in the Premier League, that's key. It's got to be key to anything that we do now going forward, obviously. So, I mean, listen, as Steve, as you say, it was a big game for them at the weekend. It was emotionally charged. It was, they put a lot into that. They put a hell of a lot into that game. And as you say, we got the extra day's rest. So I'm optimistic. If we can come out and play like we did against Forest on the front foot, pressing high up, or shall I say higher up, then I think we may have a chance. Like you say, they're going to make changes. We're going to make changes, Andy. It boils down to who wants it more on the night, really.
No, it does. I'd say I think Anthony went off, didn't injured or did he stay on in the end? I can't remember, but he
Well,
did
I can't
look.
remember. I had a lot going on.
But he's been a big threat for them, and I can't see him risking playing him. To be honest, I think he's gonna be key for him now. The one who worries me is Sancho. He's slowly coming back into form, and I think he'll be
Yeah,
given a start
Great
tomorrow. And then if you see Aaron Creswell at left back, he's going to be licking his lips. And obviously, we'll get onto the teams in a second. Rashford, I don't think he'll play. I think
No.
he's too key. He's too key for him. Weghorst, I could see him getting a rest as well. So I don't know whether they're going to try something, maybe Sancho through the middle or something. I can't. They're all crucial players, and I can't see them because it's happened to us in the past, hasn't it? So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, as you said, Andy, they're now firing on what they've won the Carabao. They're still in the Europa League, beat Barcelona, didn't they? Over two legs. That, as you say, they're putting in a really quiet push up that Premier League table, and then obviously here we are in the FA Cup. So they've won one. I can't see them winning all four. I don't think they've
no,
got the squad depth to take four run-ins, four different competitions. I think probably Ten Hag, if you sat down and asked him if he had to prioritise either the Europa League or the FA Cup, he probably would take the Europa League, because winning the Europa League obviously gives you guaranteed Champions League qualifying next season, if my memory serves. So he's
yeah,
gonna, for me, I think he'd probably pick that. So yeah, I think I'm quietly optimistic, chaps. I am. Right, before we go into our thoughts on lineups, probably what we'll see and what we hope to see. Andy, you pulled out a load of previous fixtures for us to
yeah, I did, mate. So obviously in December 2021. So nearly 2 years ago, we played Manchester United in the fifth round again, and Scott McTominay scored a 97-minute goal. If you look at that, there's quite a lot of many players. Well, I'll just quickly read the starting 11 who played that day. So we had Fabianski in goal, Creswell, Dawson, Ogbonna, Soufal, Rice, Fornals, Noble, Suchek, Bowen, and Yarmolenko. So if you look, the squad ain't really changed that much, has it? Really?
There's a few
uh,
still there, isn't there?
yeah, and then the last time we played them was in the FA Cup, was then the last year at the Boleyn when we got Dimitri Payet masterclass at Old Trafford, and then unfortunately Mr. Rashford had to turn up that day, and Marouane and Fellaini to make it 2-1 Upton Park. And going back to 2013, it was exactly the same. Drawed at home against Manchester United. Ginger Pele scored 2 goals. Joe Cole's return, that game.
oh yeah,
And then we lost the replay 1-0 after a Wayne Rooney. And then we'll get more depressing times in 26th of January 2003. We lost 6-0, which was
I
very
remember
nice.
that. I remember it. Oh,
And then the most important one of all was 28th of January 2001. Mr. Paolo Di Canio, Barthez, thank you
yeah.
very much. 1-0 victory.
and Freddie Canuti trying to wave offside, if you remember rightly. He makes the pass. If you go back and watch the highlights, he makes the pass and he puts a gloved hand in the air like he's calling for offside. And it's like, what are you doing, man? Put your arm down. And luckily,
Do you know you've can watch the full coverage on YouTube, and fucking Des Lynam's fucking present. You can watch the whole
the whole
build
lot.
up and everything. And, they were like, and the best bit was in the build. He went, "Yeah, comfortable win for Man United." I think Terry Venables was in there and all that. And then the fact that we actually pulled it off as well was amazing.
Well, I'll tell you what, I remember, because I had that on, showing me age. I had it on VHS, and at the time I was working nights. I used to work nights in a supermarket, believe it or not.
Yeah,
And every morning at about 8 o'clock, I'd come home. I'd have a cooked breakfast. I'd have a beer at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then I'd chuck the video of the West Ham Man U game in the video recorder, and I'd fall asleep watching it. 9 times out of 10, I fell asleep to a David James. Was it David? No, Shaka with a great save, right? But I remember the team that we had in and around them. We had like Hanu Tahinen, Hayden
yeah.
Fox.
Do you want me
Oh,
to read the team up?
oh, go on.
Shaka Hislop, Christian Daly, Stuart Pearce, Taini, Sebastian Schemmel, Nigel Winterburn, And then what about this for a front five? Carrick, Cole, Lampard, Canute, and Mr. West Ham, Paolo Di Canio.
I'll tell you what, that's a special front lot, isn't it? In today's
Yeah.
day and age, you'd be loving that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Oh, I can make it. I've got to say as well.
Don't talk
Sommer
about
come on. Sommer come on the 89th minute, and Ian Pearce come on in the 90th minute as well.
Raggy Soma. My word.
Throwback.
Fantastic. There's some memories there, isn't there? I remember that. I remember watching that game. I remember watching. So we beat them, didn't we? And then we went to Sunderland. I
Yeah,
think we beat
Canute.
Sunderland up
70,
there.
famous 76-minute FA Cup goals.
Yeah. And then we had Spurs, didn't we? And
Yeah.
we lost that one. I remember Todorov. I remember Stuart Pearce free kick, and he had a little bit of a to do with Stefan
Was it
Freund.
Todorov and Redroth scored for them? Was it both of them?
Could have
I
been.
think it might have been. I think it might have been Redroth as well who scored.
No, Todorov scored for us.
No, Redroth scored for
Redroth
scored for
scored
them.
for them. Little
Yeah,
bloody
sorry.
rat. But right, boys, let's do our wanted lineup.
Mm.
Not what we think Moyes is going to play. Let's
So
say
we
what
saw.
we'd
Yeah,
like.
so I'm guessing obviously in the news. Hopefully Fab makes a full recovery, but I can really see this for the rest of the season being a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Obviously Areola will be in goal. Don't know about you boys, but I'll probably think Ben Johnson will be right back. Obviously the news about Soufal. So
Vlad was he picked up a heel injury, didn't he? Is that what the that's the common consensus, isn't it?
It's had it for a while. He's been playing at 90%, was what I read.
You said the other day, Steve, didn't you, that he'd been having the old was it the injection so he could play?
I don't know about the injections, but I know Moisey came out and said that he was playing about 90% and he'd been playing through injury.
wow.
And I mean, considering that, he's put in some hell of performances. If he's been playing injured.
He has, yeah, without a doubt. Been brilliant.
Yeah.
So back four was, would you say? So Johnson left, Johnson right back, left back, Andy?
Do you know what? I'm going to change that. I reckon we're going to go to a back five, but I'll explain why.
Go on then.
I think we could maybe see Mikel Antonio as right wing back.
Yeah.
Right.
And then have Johnson, Aguerd, and maybe Creswell. This is what I don't want. This is what I reckon he might go.
Yeah.
So you'd have Johnson, Aguerd, and Creswell, and then Emerson as left wing back. So then you're saving. Johnson's done well at centre back. So do you see what I mean? So when you're defending, you're a free, and then obviously Mikel Antonio, if he's playing, you could play him there. Bowen, bless him, he hasn't. You can't play a left foot or right wing back if that makes sense because you're doing too much.
Going by what you're saying, Andy, Antonio plays pretty much
Yeah, exactly. So
and there anyway, even when he's centre forward. So yeah, I can't see that going amiss. So you'd actually go what three centre backs. So you said, would you say Oggy?
no, Johnson, Aguerd, and I can see Creswell playing.
You reckon Cresswell will go in there?
I don't want to, but that's what I reckon will happen.
All right, what would you like to see though out of the back line? If you reckon he's going to do that, what would you like to see?
Aguerd, Oggy, and Johnson.
So you still want to see three at the back? You wouldn't want to change that back to a four?
No, because I'm thinking when we're attacking, we can have more going. Antonio's got the legs to do it as a wing back, and obviously Emerson plays there naturally. The reason why I'm thinking that if we've got the wing backs, we're stopping. It'll probably be Shaw or Masia. Is it Masia? The other left back, Malacia and Wan-Bissaka. If we're playing wing backs, we're stopping them bombing forward, or we can attack more.
Fair enough. Steve, do you agree with that notion, Andy?
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to play Aguerd tomorrow. I think he might give him a rest. I think you could see Johnson, Kehrer, and Oggy as the three main centre backs. I think it's possible. Emerson wing back. It's the right back that's a bit tricky for me.
Can
But
I
I think,
throw my 5 pence in on the right wing back?
yeah, go on.
From
Kehrer.
I've just
he
put
plays
him in
that for
for
Germany, doesn't he?
Plays that for Germany, and he played that for PSG. That's just my 5 pence as an idea. I wouldn't be adverse to him as a right wing back.
No,
He's a better right wing back than he is a left back, as he played already this season. So carry on,
yeah,
Steve. Sorry.
yeah. In the middle, I'd have. You see, I'm going to change it up a lot. I'm going to have Downs and Lanzini. Then right wing, I'd probably put Antonio. Left wing, I'd stick with Benny. And then up front, I'd have Skamaka, if he's fit. Something like that. That might be 10 players, but it wouldn't be the first time I've got the numbers wrong.
I think you're missing a number two. I think. Oh no, you're not. You're not.
I see where you're both coming from. I fully understand where you're both coming from. Me, on the other hand, I'm looking at a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Or a 3-5-2. And the reason I'm going to and what I do is I'm actually going to go 3-5-2. Balls. I'm going to go Agard, Oggy, and Johnson.
Right.
I'm going to go Emerson and Kehrer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd then go as your 3 central players. I'd keep Rice in now. I'd go with Downs, but I'd keep Paqueta. And the reason I keep Paqueta is he's really starting to come into his own now. And there's a little bit of news that came out over the last 24 hours that Arsenal and Newcastle are weighing up 70 million euro offers. As new Arsenal see him as the biggest piece of their rejuvenation project as they're doing. So I can see him in the team, and then I'd actually like to see Ings and Skamaka up front because I think
Ings is cup ties.
Oh, he is, isn't he? Bowen then. Bowen and Skamaka up front.
See, I would go. I'd go Downs, Rice, and Paqueta as the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really think he's going to play silly bollocks. And we're all sitting here going, well, he's not. Premier League survival's the key here, isn't it? We've said this already.
Yeah.
I'm in the thought process, guys, that he did this last year, and he picked a very strong side in his FA Cup games. Do you remember? And we were all like, "No, we've got a big game coming up on Saturday. He'll have to rotate." No, he didn't rotate, and part of the reason that the players ended up absolutely backs to the wall knackered was because he didn't use the opportunity to rest them. I know next Thursday we've got a relatively, I won't say easy tie because no game in Europe is easy, but I do think we got a beneficial tie in the next round of the Europa League. I think that was kind of a favour to us. So you could probably get away with the likes of for instance, a Cresswell at left back, a Lanzini and Fornals in your midfield, and Ollie Skulls at left wing back, or left wing. You can do that, can't you? So I'd like to see him go full strength tomorrow, or as strong as we can get.
So mine would be mine would be Areola.
Yeah.
Back 3 of what I would like to see is Aguerd, Johnson, and Oggy.
Yeah.
Antonio right wing back, Emerson left wing back, Downs, Paqueta, and Rice, and then the front 2 would be Skamaka and Mbamba.
Oh, you want to go with Divine?
Yeah, he scored another 2 goals yesterday. He's 13 in 10 goals. 13 goals in 10 games.
Yeah, he's got to be given a shot, and he's soon. Nobody's in that room banging a drum.
I watched that on 21s. He was very good.
He's got to be
really
in that
will.
room banging a drum, and he Mark Noble, because he's been banging on about pathways to the first team for these players. He's got to be thinking now. You know what I mean? He's for me. He's got to be thinking now's got to be the one where we go for it. He's got to, because if he
And I
doesn't,
think Bowen needs the rest. I'd save him for Brighton.
So would I.
Save Bowen. I would save Bowen.
yeah. I mean, listen. There's arguments to be made across the park for different players and to have rests, different players to start, reasonings for this and that and the other. But at the end of the day, all we can do is pretty much guesstimate what or say what we'd like to do, and neither of us here, or anyone that's going to be watching this, tomorrow morning as we record this, we don't really have a say in the matter. It comes down to the grey-haired Scottishman and these guys on the backroom team. So all we can hope for, or I don't know about, I say we, let me say it again. All I can hope for, okay, and because like I say, I don't want to speak for you boys, is that we come out tomorrow and we play on the front foot, we press them. Look, at the end of the day, if we lose 5-0, we lose 5-0. It's not going to make a difference on our goal difference, as the goal difference is in our favour at the moment in the league. We're then 4 goals at the weekend. If we go 1-0 down, I want to see us play. I don't want to see us go, all right, we'll try and keep it tighter and then try and nick it at the end. I want to see us try and get that goal back because, again, I'd rather lose 2-3-0 and try and get back into the game rather than just say, all right, we'll take a 1-0 defeat.
I tell you, the last thing we want tomorrow, I don't know if the 5th round goes to replays. It goes to penalties, doesn't it?
I believe it goes extra time pens, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say last thing we need is a damn replay, but
But then I don't think we want extra time either, Steve. To be honest with you, not with Brighton coming up at the weekend.
That's how we lost the last one as well. Scott McTominay scored in the 99th fucking minute or whatever it was. So
yes,
yeah. I mean, to be fair, I as much for me, Brighton is a bigger game. I want us to have a go tomorrow. And if we win,
see where you're coming from. I do see where you're coming from.
If you had to choice, if you had to choice, though, obviously, Steve, if you had to choice, obviously, Duke, you can say it. If people in the comments as well, if you could win one trophy, would it be the FA Cup or Conference League? If you had to pick one.
For me, conference, because it gives us European football next season.
So does the FA Cup.
Yeah, so the argument doesn't hold. For me, it'd be the conference because we've
won a European trophy before Tottenham since their big thing as well.
I've seen us win the FA Cup. I've never seen us lift a European trophy.
And that's going to be my argument. Yeah, I'd rather see us the Conference League. Just quickly, as soon as you brought up Spurs there, Andy, have you seen the meme doing the round of Christian Eriksen holding the League Cup?
I presented to you, didn't I?
He's basically left Spurs, changed clubs twice, died, come back to life, and won a trophy before Harry Kane. Oh God, it's brilliant! It's so good. I'll tell you what, that's 25. Let's start to wrap this up. Andy, anything more you want to add before we disappear and leave it to the folks to leave their comments on?
No.
So we've got to do a score prediction. Come on, Duke, sort your stuff out. Andy.
So my last... Okay, so my score prediction first. I am going for a 2-1 West Ham United win. I think Skamaka will score. And do you know what? I can see a Paqueta goal. I can really see Paqueta scoring tomorrow. I think if Man United are bombing forward, that's the person you want in the middle of the pitch to cause some damage. So, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win, but it won't be pretty. But I think we'll get the job done.
I don't think it needs to be pretty, Andy, as long as it's a win. Steve, score prediction from you.
Well, I think they're going to do us tomorrow. I think they're going to win 2-0. Sorry about that, lads. But
I'll tell you what, I'm not going to let you finish it on a downer. I am actually going to go 2-1 in extra time. I actually think they're going to go 1-0 up. We're going to bag a 75th minute strike, and then we're going to go on and we're going to win it in extra time because they're going to push on. They're not going to want to go to penalties. I don't think it'll be De Gea between the sticks for them. So
Tom Heaton, or is
yeah.
it Dubravka?
No, Dubravka's at Newcastle, isn't he? Is he still he's back at Newcastle? Dubravka, I think he went back. That's why he couldn't play at the weekend. But he still won a medal. Andy, last thoughts.
People will be watching this. You never know. They will be maybe travelling up there. The 9,000 lucky. Well, I had the opportunity to go, but I did turn it down because I thought it is a long way, and I'm probably going to get stick. But I just couldn't be asked of getting in at 4 a.m, to be honest. So, but no, but safe travel for everyone who is going up there.
Yeah. Steve, last from you, sir.
Well, as we've found out already, my score predictions and what the lineup is absolutely awful. So, whereas you got it right for the Forest game, safe travels, everybody. I really, really don't want extra time though, and I want our key players in good fettle for the Brighton game, because we've got to go. If we go there and get a point, that's huge. If we go there and lose, it's difficult again. So, but no, I just want to see a good game of football, one where we don't cower back into our shell, but we have a go at them. And I don't mind if we win or lose if we do that. It's not that important on that. The result.
I completely agree with you. That I just want to see us come out and play and do what we did against Forest. Put them on the back foot. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. Those that are watching, like Andy says, if you're travelling up and you're watching this on the coach with your headphones in, give the people next to you a nudge and get them to come over and then subscribe. Leave a like on it for us, guys. Leave a comment. We want your score predictions. We want your lineups as well. So leave them in the comments below. And as Andy said earlier, don't forget to give the bell a little tickle so then you are notified when we go live or we put up any other content. It's my pleasure. You can guarantee that every now and again, I actually do like to pleasure myself. Thank you.
And Mr. Bob Marley next to Bubbles, see?
I don't think he sang that.
I'm not even going to try and sing it in a Jamaican accent.
If anyone thinks, I'll tell you what, if anyone thinks they can, I was about to press the outro, Andy. If anyone thinks they can, I'll sing Bubbles in a Bob Marley style way. Please get in touch with the channel. I'd love to use you on it.
Don't worry.
Take care, guys.
Okay, cheers. Come on, you on.